Do you need to take a break, love? Are you sure? I know this is just as dangerous for you, if not more. But you can afford some rest. You've been locked up in here for almost 4 months. Anyone would go insane if they moved to a different country without being able to explore it. Especially in a city as rich as this. The music is wonderful, isn't it? Even in this kind of weather, they'll still play well into the night. But listening to it from here and experiencing it with the dancers and musicians is something else. I hope that one day we can mingle with the crowd, and you can show me your moves. It's nothing too difficult. Feel the music and move as you like. Well, I would ask for a demonstration, but you'll say no, won't you? I thought as much. It would be nice, you know. Having a dance together. Parties were all the rage, and wasn't even that long ago, actually. House parties went on until the late morning, and people dressed in their fanciest clothes, feathers and all. Depending on who hosted, there would always be some type of theme, and some danced until they couldn't walk anymore. Yes, they were overzealous. But then for the more regal parties that required a specific dress code, like a tuxedo and gown, we would normally waltz. I've done quite a lot of dancing in my time, and I can confidently say I'm good at it. You don't show me, I don't show you. It's only fair, isn't it? Tell you what, one day, when we finally see each other dance, we'll do it together. I'll pick some classics, like Shostakovich or Strauss. I'll find a suitable dance floor, we could dress up, and we'll waltz. It's easy to pick up, even if you have 2 left feet. All you need to do is follow my lead. And even if you can't do that, I'll sweep you off your 2 left feet. Oh, I am confident. I already said I'm good at it. You don't think I could? I'll take that as a challenge then. Watch, when we finally dance together, you'll be swooning by the end of it. I haven't danced like that in several years, but once I hear the music, I'll find my groove. The waltz isn't just about timing, it's about refinement and trusting your partner without looking down between you. I used to. In the beginning, I was a klutz, if you can believe it, and before I turned, I was expected to learn it for my father's sake. I couldn't understand rhythm and always took a step out of time, but after I became a vampire, it was much easier to pick up the time signature. Measuring the beat. You know, a 4/4 time signature that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Or a 3/4, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's the waltz. I think it would be nice to share that moment. I'll be looking forward to it. Found anything yet? Well, you are going through centuries of research. Remember, the Trimedian was formed in the 1400s. And back then, they weren't that secretive about their ideologies. They infiltrated groups who believed in a nameless threat, spread fear to the sheep, and sooner rather than later, they would have an army to do their bidding. Of course, at the time they just weaponized what the public was scared of to suit their own agenda, and I doubt it would have taken much convincing to expand their grand regime. That's how it is. This cult operated in the dark and were given the tools to thrive because they knew how humans could be swayed. What do they call it? A mob mentality? You just need the right message. Audric was thorough. He chased every lead he could, managed to find the person who started all of this, but still it wasn't enough. You can't kill an idea, and long after the founder died, it had festered until there was no stopping it. Smart. That's how movements start and persevere. Fran! Glad you could make it!
I know I needed to. It feels like it's getting worse out there.
What do you mean?
More of us are going missing. I haven't been able to contact some of my friends for a while, and the ones that I can are saying the same thing. It feels like they're finally making their move.
Do you think they're targeting them because of you, or just in general?
It has to be in general. People I don't know are winding up dead. And it's not just vampires. It's all of us.
You did well covering your scent.
Some of them know it, so I had to. Usually we cover it with anything that smells potent, but one of the best things to use is rose. It's in my bracelet.
And it's a good thing because humans also wear it, so in a crowd, you probably wouldn't be able to tell which one's a vampire.
It's effective enough.
How was your trip?
Not great. People were following me. I know it wasn't my paranoia. Ever since that night in England, I feel like I've needed to look over my shoulder. You know what I mean?
All too well. But from them, I don't. I don't get why they would just follow you and not kill you outright. Your existence alone goes against everything they believe in, unless they believe in something else now. Excuse me. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Neither do I. Have you found anything?
A few tidbits, but nothing that would help us. Everything that we've come across leads to a dead end because of how long it's been.
Good thing I found a lead then.
What lead?
I visited everyone I could in person and didn't give them a heads up just in case. I don't know who to trust anymore, so I thought it would be the safest way. It turns out there has been mass recruiting for anyone, any kind of species. When I was approached by them, they only talked about you and how you were the one who killed my family. I never said I would help them, but at the time, I just wanted to get revenge, and I didn't realize what they were really doing. Plus, I didn't know who they were, or at least what they did.
But you were recruited all the same. Perhaps they didn't outright tell you, but they wanted you to act out.
Why?
I would say to get my attention, but the why of that I don't know.
I found someone who was a part of the Trimedian. Or they were. She's the type who changes her alliance like the wind. But she was a part of it for over 2 centuries and pulled out during the Second World War because she found her family. She told me she hated being a vampire, and after she was done with the Trimedian, that she would, in pleasant terms, finally sleep. But while she was a part of them, she said that their focus had shifted from eliminating anything that wasn't human. Instead, they wanted to use that strength for whatever. Apparently, the current leader has other ideas. Mainly, gathering as many as our kind as possible to destroy whoever stands in their way.
The way of what? It's not cleansing the world anymore. They're using us to get rid of us. What kind of backwards thinking is that?
I don't know. But more and more people are being found dead or going missing. I've never had this much trouble getting in contact with people I regularly speak to. And those I know say the same thing. She told me a possible location.
What?
Yeah. We can go after those sons of bitches and get more information. We need to get to the top. And I think I have a way. Use me as bait.
I'm sorry, what?
Use me as bait. They might still be following me to get to you. So if they find me, they'll question me. So all you need to do is follow behind.
Wait, I can't ask you to do this,
This is my choice. And it's my way of apologizing for trying to kill them. I was an idiot, and I was blind. I should have known it was too simple. But now we can finally do something about it.
Is this about revenge?
In a way, yes. But it's more than that now. I've only heard about the Trimedian, but didn't know exactly what they were like. I want to do some good. And if it means being able to take them down from the inside, I'm prepared to help. This isn't the debt I'm paying. This is for myself.
Well, I can't really tell you what to do. If you've decided, then so be it. I don't have to tell you it'll be dangerous, not to mention there being no guarantee you'll come out alive. We don't know how many are after us, or where they'll take you.
But we'll be one step closer. And if you can't save me, then capture the ones who've killed me and force them to tell you where the leader is.
You might not need to. Who was that? That, friend I told you about. The hunter. The one who had you in their basement? Yes, that one. I asked them to gather as much information as they could about the Trimedian with their connections. And they have many. You know what they said? Well, don't keep us waiting. It is like Franz said. Hunters have left and still leave because of how it's changed. A lot of hunters are missing or dying, particularly those with former ties to the Trimedian. They are spiting the humans,
yet still killing those like us.
Did any of them say why?
The new leaders do not hold the same ideology as the founders. They still have the main goal of wiping us out, but their methods have changed, and the hunters faithful to the old ways didn't want to work alongside the very things they hunted. But some of them have turned.
What do you mean?
To go against the Trimedian. They think it's too corrupt and must be cleansed. And from what I've been told, they are willing to have a truce and get rid of the Trimedian for good before assuming it again. And we'll all go back to how it was before.
Why would they do that?
Because they know they can't win without us. And I bet they're plenty ashamed to admit it. They need us. Think about it. If hunters go against the Trimedian themselves, they'll not only be up against their own, but other species as a force that works together rather than apart. They might have been able to handle it with one person at a time, but not like this, where there will be strategy involved. So, even though they left the Trimedian because they didn't want to work with vampires and the like, they can't let the cult stay the way it is.
It's unprecedented, even for me.
You've never seen something like this?
No, I never thought I'd see the day where we might be fighting alongside the very people who have hunted us for generations. Not even the modernized ones, the original. Those that still see the world in black and white.
That might actually be an advantage for us, though.
Wait, you know they'll literally stab you in the back the first chance they get?
I know. They can't let go of their core values, and we can use that.
We're really going to do this.
We must. I can't shake the feeling that I'm missing something in all of this. Much of it doesn't make sense, and it's annoying me that I can't figure it out.
Well, what do we know for sure? What are the things we need to remember?
That the Trimedian is fractured. Their very existence has been ruthless from the beginning, and remained that way for centuries, never breaking their creed. According to Aldrich's notes, whoever diverted from that path was killed. Whoever turned or hit someone they were supposed to get rid of were executed. There were no ifs or buts.
And for some strange reason, the Trimedian have chosen to change their tactics to fight fire with fire. More people are disappearing at faster rates, our kind are turning on each other, and those who followed in the original traditions of the Trimedian are leaving on their own accord. It's all a mess, really.
You can say that again.
But we're missing something important.
What?
There have always been those part of the Trimedian that had their own goals. You've said you made a lot of enemies over the years. Clearly someone is angry with you. Enough so that they've gone after them. Do you know who it could be?
You're not serious, are you?
Crystal. We need to know, Xanthus.
I've killed many people. Some remember, others don't. But I remember each one. They're engraved in me.
Think about those that might still be alive, who'd want to hurt you.
Many clans. The Denalia. I killed 3 of them. Lister and the Elmoring. I almost took them all out. The O'Harans, the Steens. I've come across countless clans who've tried to kill me and others, and I protected them just as I protected myself. I didn't seek any of them out. None. I don't go looking for murder.
How will we know who's behind it?
When they take the bait.
Whoever it is will not leave any of us alive. They seduced Fran, a younger vampire, with vengeance, and made sure to mention someone she could go after. They knew where you lived and sent her there, knowing there was a high possibility she wouldn't make it out alive.
I won't be manipulated like that a second time.
Not unless you're compelled to do so.
And if I am, kill me. I am not going to be used as a pawn again.
Are you sure?
Very.
Then I shall.
Thank you.
Well, if we're really going to do this, then I need to start making calls. I'll make a list of potential allies, and I suggest you both do the same. But bear in mind that trust no longer holds the same weight as it did before. We cannot afford them knowing, or I fear more than a handful will lose their lives.
More than a handful lose their lives every moment because of the Trimedian. Probably at more frequency now. You should know that there's a cost to all battles.
Is that what we're doing? Going into battle?
What else would you call it? This is the next fight of a war we've collectively fought for longer than my lifetime. We just can't fathom the loss because it's been stretched out over so many years.
Since when were you so adamant about it?
I've been fighting in wars for as long as I can remember. I am what I am because of it, and since it's always been someone else's war. But now it's personal. They've threatened me, threatened my love. and I am not going to cower and run. Look, Xanthus, you know I consider you a friend. I trust you with my life and theirs, otherwise I wouldn't be here. This isn't your fight, so I understand if you don't want to come. If anything, I'd be more at ease knowing they are here under your protection.
But this isn't just your fight, is it? I have ran and hid for so long. That is what I remember. And I cannot do so again when everything is at risk. I know they won't stop, but you need all the help you can get right now. And that is what I intend to give.
You're full of surprises, aren't you?
It is the time for it.
So, what's your plan? Have anything in mind, Fran? Seeing as you're the one who volunteered to be bait? Surely you have an idea on how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. You have a map?
Hold on.
When they take me, it's best to do it away from New Orleans. So I was thinking of luring them to the Venetian Isles. That way, when you follow, you won't look conspicuous because of the amount of roads there.
But we don't know how far their base is. I know in the Trimedian they have multiple around the world.
My friend knows there's one nearby. They didn't say how far, but they have it on good authority from an ex-member.
How much do you trust your friend?
Enough to let them stay here.
Still, we need a backup just in case.
A backup? Then I could take them through the festival that's happening in a few weeks. I saw the poster on my way here. I'll act like I'm hiding in plain sight and pretend I've noticed them. Then I'll go into a dead end where they'll capture me and you can follow from there. You can have the high ground because of the buildings. The music will filter out communication, so maybe going to the Venetian Isles should be the backup.
I agree. I like this one better.
So do I. We'll need ground and roof surveillance.
Love, you can't come with us. It's too dangerous. If Xanthus is coming, then you'll be here alone, and I can't have that.
What will you do?
As much as it pains me to admit it, I'd rather them be with me where I can keep an eye on them.
If things go wrong, they'll be used to taunt you, you know?
As long as I draw breath, I will not let that happen.
Confident, aren't we?
I have the history to back it up. If they're coming with, then I'll be on ground surveillance.
Are you sure? You're the strongest out of all of us.
Which is why I need to be beside them. I'm sure one of us knows someone who's at least a little stronger than I am.
I might.
Good. Xanthus, inform your friend of a truce. I'll look into finding those with personal vendettas against the Trimedian. But remember, only those
we trust, yes.
Okay, then it's settled. On the night of the big festival, we start our hunt.
I'll start calling.
I'll show you to your room. Follow me.
Thank you for giving me this.
You don't need to thank me yet. Avenge your family, and then we can exchange the thank yous.
I'll be looking forward to it.
As will I.
I purchased this apartment a long time ago. The bathroom is over there.
I didn't think it would come to this. Come to fighting them. For our kind, they were akin to the boogeyman. We all knew that something stalked us in the darkness, something that had been brewing for years and plucked us into shadow. They were our waking nightmare, hell-bent on cleansing us from the world. And now we'll be fighting with the purest ones against our own kind. It seems surreal. Those people can't change. Fran is right. As soon as they get an opening, they'll turn on us. They only need us because they don't have the strength to take on what the Trimedian is now. It's a global entity. Of course, we won't be able to take them all down at once, but it's a start. And I'll finally be able to get to the bottom of why they're targeting you. You don't want to run for the rest of your life, do you? Exactly, and neither do I. In the fleeting moment, it might be fun and exciting, but they will catch up to us, and I don't want to wait without any hint to the day it comes. But this way, I have control to face it head on, without any surprises. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of catching me off guard. If they capture you, they will do more than kill you. To many eyes, I have wronged them. They came for me or my friends, and I acted out of protection or duty. I don't go on sprees to sate my bloodlust. Some kills of mine didn't exactly follow that, no. The most recent one was your coworker. Yes, the one that was stalking you. I said that he wouldn't bother you anymore, didn't I? I meant it. Let's just say he's having a ball 6 feet under. He wasn't going to stop, you know. If I hadn't seen him following you, if I hadn't intercepted, who knows what he would have done. Before I approached you in that alley, I'd been watching you for some time. And him. His gaze would follow you everywhere. When you were both around people, he would keep his distance, but stay cordial so as not to arouse suspicion. But when there were fewer customers or staff, he would get closer, wouldn't he? And there was one night where you and him were tasked to lock up. Do you remember him asking you all those personal questions about your family and your relationships? I don't need to be a vampire to tell you were extremely uncomfortable. Yes, I heard and saw everything. And he dared to lay a hand on you as well when you had your back turned. I wanted to give him a reason to fear touching you, but I stayed away and watched over you for quite a while. And on the night we first met, he was following behind. I interfered because I could hear his heartbeat, and I knew he was planning something. Although I may have used that as an excuse to see you up close. I was only supposed to admire you from afar, nothing more. You captivated me. Even in that light, I couldn't take my eyes off you. Of course I was out for your blood. Honestly, I thought I was parched, considering how much I wanted it, but I didn't know anything about a bond or how strong it was. That was why I couldn't stay hidden any longer. Nowadays, what I desire from you transcends your physical form. I still want to feed and kiss you, but it's an internal pulse. I'm not sure how to describe it. A need to have you by my side. Like, without you, I am not whole, and neither is my soul. I need you. I know the feeling's mutual. I hear it in your heart. I know that's unfair to you. You can only hold back some of your thoughts from me. Not that I want to know absolutely everything, but when it comes to you, I'm fine-tuned to your feelings. Okay. Right now, I can tell that you're tired. And I'm not surprised, considering how long you've been poring over those papers. Come on, let's go to our bedroom. No, you've been a great help. There's so much to consider, and now there's even more. Even with my many years tucked under my belt, it's a lot, so I can't imagine how it's like for you. This was probably the farthest from your dreams last year, wasn't it? Your life has completely changed because of something out of your control, and you've had no choice but to be carried by the current. It is a lot. Don't you think so? My mind hasn't been able to relax since I knew about the Trimedian. Are you sure? You've done so much today. I don't want to compound it with my problems. True. I want you to sleep peacefully without my own troubles getting in the way. Let's get into bed first. My biggest concern. Your safety. I often wonder what would have happened if I was able to part from you. Vampires usually don't get attached to the people they feed on, which means those humans are safe from being used as leverage. We feed on everyone, technically, and human loss tends to be collateral damage.
but the bond doesn't allow me to stay away for too long. Or maybe I'm just using it as an excuse. Soon, you'll be in the most danger you've ever been in, and I'm allowing it. I know I don't have control over you, I can't even compel you, but I can lock you up and ensure you stay safe while we go on this mission. But even the thought of that makes me uneasy because I would constantly be thinking about you. You're not a distraction. You are everything. I cannot lose you. You ended up in a war that isn't yours to fight, but they are after you regardless. Bonds are legends, but for you and I, it's real. What you have, it's rare, and having that kind of connection with a vampire is deemed wrong enough to condemn you. And that's another thing that concerns me. They only showed up after your existence was known. And that could mean someone in my friend circle keeps their mask on awfully tight. The Trimedian wants to hurt me through you. If they wanted to kill me, they would have done it, or at least attempted it. Fran and the other vampire had no chance of killing me, but you. I'm not the main target here. So you think the same as Xanthus? The timing is suspicious to me too. I think the people behind this are playing with me, and I am not one to be taunted. Do you remember there was another vampire when Fran came, and I dealt with him in the other room? I don't know if it's me looking too deep into things, but his name. I was close to someone with that name a long time ago, and only a handful of people know it. So whoever's behind this has most definitely done their research. Either that or I'm paranoid. I will try and relax. The last thing I want to do is concern you with my incoherent mutterings. We won't be able to live in this world with them lurking around every corner. We won't be able to breathe. They are formidable, and they've been operating for so long. Larger entities have tried to go against them and failed. The day of the festival, we see where they take Fran, and maybe we'll find another lead. You think we're being hasty? I want them gone, out of our lives for good. But I know we'll never get that. We might be the pebbles that start the avalanche, but if things go south... Let's just say I have an idea and I'll leave it there. Do you trust me? Then trust me when I say it's best you don't know. Now come, love. You were the one who said I should relax, but you're the one who needs it. After it's all done, how about we go on a trip? Somewhere far away. See the sights, visit each continent, sample all the cuisines we can, and simply cherish the moment. I cherish every second with you. I might have taken some years for granted in my past, but it felt like my purpose started when I laid eyes on you. I didn't know it at the time, but I'm quite certain of it now. No need to get shy. It's the plain truth. Perhaps this would be the moment to confess. Just to make sure I've said it. I've fallen in love with you. I know you know I needed to say it to make it tangible. I don't know what will happen after the fighting, but I feel like I need to say it now just in case. In case... But let's not dwell on an uncertain future. I just wanted you to know is all. Now sleep. We'll likely continue planning tomorrow, so you need your energy. I'll be right here, don't worry. Good night.